I want to talk to you today about the word insight, and more specifically, how you can master the power of insight to really transform the way you see the world and contribute. So the word insight is something we hear quite often, all right? Great insights, or thank you for the insight. But when you think about insight, what it actually means is insight, seeing inside us with clarity. Now the system, in terms of our education, possibly university, has taught us to look outside, right? You went to school, you went to university potentially, and you learned two things. Number one, you learned information, capitals of the world, history, things like that. And number two, you learned processes, algebra, photosynthesis, biology, etc. Outside things, with a byproduct of that learning, is that you learn about yourself. But the focus wasn't about learning about yourself. You weren't tested on that. You were tested on the capitals of the world and the processes. So from a very young age, we're conditioned to look outside, and we're tested on that. And then we go into the workplace, and again, we're looking for outside information and processes. We might do MBAs, things like that. And right now, there's Google, for instance. If you've got a question, go into Google, type it in, and basically we're constantly going outside for information, for answers, for processes, etc. The problem with that is that we haven't been taught to go inside, to have insight. And when you think about people who are wise, it's not people who know the future. It's people who have clarity on the inside, which gives them an experience and a good judgment, which gives them foresight about what might happen in the future. Now, the future is not certain. No one can say what's going to happen in 10 minutes. But when you meet someone who has wisdom, actually, they have learned to master the power of insight, assimilate it, and then they have better foresight. And how does that look? They ask better questions of the person who's come to them. They can contribute from a place of internal clarity. So my invitation to you is consider focusing on the power of insight, of going inside. How can you do that? 3 ways. One is going into your heart, asking yourself questions like, what are my core values, my greatest talents, my deepest aspirations? What are my passions? What's my identity? Who do I stand for? That's number 1, discovering the heart. Insight into my identity and my uniqueness. Second step is understanding how you operate, right? How do you make decisions? How do you prioritize? Why do I procrastinate? Why do I react to certain things and not to others? Understanding how this fantastic supercomputer works and answering the questions there. And then the third step in terms of mastering the power of insight is getting these two to work together. This amazing mind, this beautiful heart, the two most powerful forces inside you, getting them working together so that 1 + 1 = 11. Not 2, not 3, but 11. That's mastering the power of insight, leading to wisdom, leading to foresight. Food for thought. Have an amazing day.